First and foremost, you know, props to Wayne State and Scott and his staff. What a tremendously classy group of young ladies and coaches that they are, and an amazing season. You know, I'm not positive on this, but I'm pretty sure, you know, they basically only have losses to the two teams remaining in Concordia on the year. They might have maybe dropped one early to like a Northwest Nazarene, who's a 1 seed in their region. So, I mean, they just played great volleyball from beginning of the year to the end. And, you know, tonight, the way we jumped out early and were very efficient, there was an opportunity for that match to really get away from them, and they just came right back and played the way we expected them to play from the get-go, and they made life very difficult. Their defensive abilities and pressure are very, very difficult to play against, and you know, it was a grind from there on out, and you know, we feel fortunate to advance, and you know, we look forward to the opportunity tomorrow.
Okay, questions?
What did they do better in that second set?
I think they didn't have as many unforced errors. You know, I think early on, maybe, I don't know if it was nerves or just the energy of starting up, but you know, we got some fortunate points our way with either a service error or some hitting errors. You know, I thought we were very efficient offensively, which once we get going and we get into a flow, the confidence really starts to almost ooze, which sounds kind of weird, but I mean, you can just sense when our side of the net feels like that rhythm is really going, and then it just kind of compounds itself, and I felt like that's where we were in the first set. And then the second set, you know, they came back out like it was 0-0, which is the challenge of volleyball. You can play really well in one set and turn around the next set, you're back to zeros, and you got to start all over from the beginning. And they did a great job of doing that, and they really, I think their defensive intensity picked up another notch, but I think offensively they just, you know, were able to be a little bit more in system and really challenge us with our ability to defend them. That was a really long answer.
Maddie, obviously you did a lot on both sides of the ball, but specifically you led the team in digs.
Wait, what?
And service errors, don't get too cocky.
Exactly. Wait for it.
So, you know, obviously we've seen you develop a lot more on the defensive end, but what in this game, was it just there hitting it towards you, or what was working well for you on the defensive end?
I think it all stemmed down to our blockers doing what they're supposed to do, taking away the shots, which makes it a little bit easier for us because they hit it kind of towards us, I guess you can say. But I think we started off at serving and passing really well, and that allows us to kind of roll and, I don't know, play. That was a terrible answer. This is my first time doing this, bear with me.
Was it easier to play them having just played them, or was it more difficult?
I think it was more difficult. I know I had probably the worst nerves that I've ever had, because it's hard playing a team 4 times in one season, let alone just twice.
Yeah, I agree with Maddie. It's definitely, they knew what we were going to do, we knew what they were going to do, so it really came down to playing volleyball and who played better.
Monica, it was your night to shine offensively. You led the team in kills. The offense is usually pretty balanced, but you stood out. Was there anything that you saw tonight that made you know that you were going to have a good night?
You know, I just got lucky. They gave me the shot that I really wanted to hit quite often, and it just happened to be working out tonight that I was on. Ashley had some great sets to me and forced it to me a few times when it just worked out really well.
Jim, you got to see Southwest play 3 times this season, and you got to see him even tonight before your match. Tell us a little bit about him. What do they bring to the table?
Another really scrappy defensive group that frustrates you because you think you get a huge swing that's going to score a point, and next thing you know, here comes the ball again. So, you know, the defensive intensity and pressure that they put on you makes life tough. They're very physical, you know, with Abby Thiessen on the right. And now you have Odin and Parker closing a block on the outside. That's a formidable block to be hitting against. They serve very tough. So, you know, when we've played them the 3 times that we have, it's been a grinding type of matches. There hasn't been a whole lot of separation on either side, and I think that's the big thing I would anticipate tomorrow is it's probably going to be a point-by-point battle where it's going to just come down to those little runs that happen in a set of volleyball, and if you can make that little bit of run and then finish it off, there's a chance to win a set, and if not, then you might be losing that set. So I think you saw the character of that team tonight. They built up that lead in the fourth set against Concordia, and then next thing you know it was 24-all, and there had to be some thought in their brain like, wow, here we go again, Concordia's going to find a way. And yet they dug in their heels and made a couple plays to give themselves a chance to win that set, and it just kind of shows you where they're at. And the big thing is they're rallying around one of their players, and you can just see the energy that they have right now and the confidence they're playing with.
Anything else?
No Concordia, that's like the first time in 10, 11 years, whatever it's been, where they made the final here, the region final. What's that feel like? It didn't matter to you just so you're there, I imagine.
Absolutely. What an amazing run they've been on. You got to give them all the credit in the world to get to this point that many times in a row in a region, in a conference, in a region like this. Incredible. It was bound to end eventually. At least most people thought or hoped that it would end eventually. It wasn't going to be an easy match regardless of who we played tomorrow night if we were to advance. So knowing now that it's Southwest, that's what our focus is going to be.
Anything else?
Of course there's UMD fans, Bulldog fans that wanted to see those two meet tomorrow, and of course you don't care, right?
See which two meet.
What's that?
They wanted to see who meet, us and Concordia?
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps. I mean, obviously it's a great rivalry, and there's been some tremendous matches played both in their building and ours. But boy, I hope they're not disappointed that we're still going to be in the regional final just against somebody else, because boy, there's only so much we can do. So I hope they come out again. A great crowd tonight. I thought the atmosphere was tremendous. It was a challenge for me in timeouts to even get my message across because of how loud it was in that gym, which is a great problem to have. I hope my voice is back tomorrow. But I think it's going to be a great environment again tomorrow. I hope people come out and support, and should be showing a great regional championship match.
Loudspeaker maybe.
Trust me, for camps I do it, but then everybody would hear me.